Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel and our new vlog. So right now I'm sitting with a friend of mine whose name is Mikey.
Mikey, that's what you call me, yeah?
Yeah, I call him Mikey, but what is exactly your name?
Mikels. He calls me Mikey just because he cannot pronounce it in Latvian. That's Indian thing, you know, pretty much.
And that's a pretty Latvian thing that people outside Latvia are not able to really pronounce that
Yeah,
very easily. It's very
yeah,
difficult.
yeah.
Even for people who are from Russia also, they're also not able
Yeah, the
to.
same thing. Russian people that live in Latvia, yeah, the same thing. Their pronunciation is very well.
Yeah, but that's why they speak a lot of Russian mostly. People speak Russian.
Yeah.
Okay, so people, I met Mikey in the gym.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in the
and
gym.
we were working out together that time. And the best part is that he came to me talk to me that time because
Yeah.
most of the Latvians didn't speak especially when it comes to strangers. But yeah, he came to meet me and then he said, "Oh, bro, you are very crazy," and something like that. What
You're
was
still
that?
crazy, man. I did not change my mind.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's good. I will take it as a compliment. Huh?
that is a compliment. Yeah,
So yeah, the best part is that he said to me that I found you very crazy, and I would
yeah,
like to be a friend of yours, and then we'll maybe mutually learn something, and I'll teach you. You will teach me from your experience, and I'll teach you Latvian.
yeah,
So that was
yeah.
the deal initially. Yeah. So first of all, thank you so much for coming to our channel.
No problem.
And so we'll ask something about Mike, about Latvia, about culture in Latvia, about how is life going on, what are the situations right now, what do you thinks of it, all those stuff. So this is gonna be amazing. Stay till the end. Here we go. Mikey, first of all, I would like to know that how was your schooling done? Like how
Yeah.
you have seen yourself evolving in Latvia, and then how you have seen the circumstances around, like how Latvia has evolved as well. You know?
Okay, okay. So I will firstly start with how Latvia has evolved. So as a young person, I noticed some things that young people notice and that maybe older generations do not notice as well. They think that young people always have some kind of things that are fashionable, and they always come to the end, and there's not much change per se. But I definitely seen some changes. For example, culturally. Latvia has a really big Russian influence on its culture in the terms of how people speak, express themselves, and so on, like in the use of slangs. Okay, and in the recent years, pretty much since I was going to the school, which was 12 years ago, this is my first day of school. I noticed that people in Latvia, young people, they really adopt the European culture, the American kind of way of thinking. They just influence a lot from the social media.
Social
So,
media.
yeah, yeah. Just
And what is exactly that American thing which they are
oh,
moving towards or they are inclining towards? What is that American thing?
interesting. Well, firstly, in the speech of how young people speak, there was always a lot of Russian slang like "давай," "точно," "может быть,"
But
yeah, it's,
but that is Russian accent. That's Russian accent.
no, that's Russian words that are in Latvian language.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And Latvians like use a lot of Russian in their daily life, like as a slang. But now young people are constantly like Americanizing everything. I can also see that maybe in terms of how people dress nowadays. I remember when I was much smaller, all of the kids were wearing like cool sporty tracksuits, Adidas tracksuits. There's a term like gopnik.
Gopnik.
Yes,
That is
gopnik.
this is Latvian or Russian word?
No, that's a Russian word.
Okay, gopnik.
Yes, yes. That's like a low tier of people in Latvia that are
Okay.
mostly Russian, that live a perhaps uncultured life, let's say.
Okay,
Yeah.
like a more not so standard or more not so luxurious life.
Yeah, pretty much. Not well. They
like a lower middle class people.
well, they have a stereotype that they all dress in like sports tracksuits.
Okay.
They chew on sunflower seeds. They drink,
Okay.
and they steal something occasionally. But that's yeah, yeah. And now kids like I see them looking at how people dress in like American and what's like trendy and fashionable over there, and they try to imitate that. And it's like not those tracksuits anymore, you know, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're moving towards American. But I think why not towards why are you saying American and not towards Europe? You would say?
I would say it's also European, definitely, but it's like away from the Russian sphere of influence.
Ah,
So I do notice like Latvia, in terms of laws, adopting like European laws. For example, I remember everybody used to have plastic grocery bags all the time, but now it's like filled with paper bags, and just few noticeable things like that. Yeah, yeah, and just the strive towards like sustainability and like green living, you know.
so
Yeah.
they're like becoming a little more aware towards nature and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Pretty much whatever is trendy and going on right now in Europe or in America, it's coming to Latvia,
Some people,
but always like a few years behind because Latvians still have this like Soviet mentality in many ways. In one sense, it's like, oh, things are never going to change. I can't change anything, but at the same time, things like rapidly change. You know, things from foreign countries are brought to Latvia, and so on.
so, how was your school?
Yours, man. I'm glad I finished it. That's all I can say.
How was
So
your school? It was tough on you. It was very easy. It was easy busy.
yeah, so Latvia had recently like a reform in schooling, which I experienced. I think I'm the first like. I was born in the year 2004, so I'm 18. So I'm the first year of kids who is experiencing the change. So we have like I'm going to a government school which has like a pre-planned subjects that we learn, and we can choose like three options. First one is I chose, which is called humanities, which means that I'm learning languages more and not doing like chemistry and physics. The second option is you do chemistry, physics, and maths on an advanced level, and not really the other stuff. And the third one is economics, to learn economics. But in reality, from what I have heard, like nobody really teaches you anything in that class anyway. So yeah, I learned French. Je parle
language.
français.
So you speak French as well.
Yeah, but in a horrible Latvian accent. So I would never use French on the street, okay?
Okay.
When I'm in France. Yeah.
You will not use French when you will be in France.
No way.
But you will
I'm
be-
gonna stick to English.
But you will gonna use French, and you will be in Latvia to tell other people that I know French.
Exactly, that's what I'm doing
Just
right
around.
now. So yes, I know French. I'm a very intelligent man. I'm superior to many other people.
I'm sure. I don't know French.
Yeah. You're uncultured.
Dava, मुश्किल
Philosophy class.
philosophy.
Yes.
Oh, that's
So my history. Yes, school.
Which class?
In the humanities class.
And that
Yeah.
that is on in which class? Like what standard? 10, 9, 8, 11,
Oh, it is only in the 12th grade.
12th grade.
Yes, just for 1 year.
And what did you which philosophers did you study?
Which philosophy did I study? Well, we like dwelled into very minor details of each famous philosophers, like Aristotle, Descartes, and a few others.
Socrates, Karl Marx.
No, not about Karl Marx. No.
Okay.
In Latvia, Latvians hate communism and anything that's related to communism. It's a thing we want to erase.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So we don't learn about Karl Marx. But
And what about other things like dancing and sports and all those stuff? Is it mandatory?
No, we do not have dancing classes in my school. I love that we do not have any dancing classes because I would. I hate dancing. I hate dancing. Maybe when I'm partying with my friends, I love to dance, but no. I think it would be very weird that our, let's say, very physically large sports teacher would know how to teach us anything about dancing. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Okay, so my next question to you is like nowadays you are looking at like a lot of foreigners who are
Yeah.
coming to Latvia to study,
Yeah.
and what do you think about it?
It's interesting. I know that Latvians have like quite diverse opinions about them. Especially older people do not like it. They think that these foreigners are going to come and stay in Latvia, like marry their Latvian.
Children's, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
daughters or maybe yeah.
Yes, yes, and they're going to have like mixed Indian and Latvian babies,
And they don't
which,
like
they,
it.
which they don't like.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. But younger people generally not express such concern about it. But we as Latvians, we know that we are a small nation with a culture, and we are constantly like our culture is in a sense being erased because of yes, because of the influence from American culture and European culture. So we try to like keep it unique, and I believe that if we have too many foreigners, as many as other Latvian people believe, that it's going to like destroy our culture and our way of living and make things. Well, let's say Latvia, of course, is unique to Latvians.
Yes.
Yeah. Same for every country, but if we would have like a ton of foreigners coming in, it would not remain so. But I personally do not have a problem with it unless it's not like in large numbers. Yeah,
That's a very honest opinion.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. And what do you, okay, apart from that, what do you think, why are they coming?
Well, why are foreigners coming to Latvia? Uh, I believe they have it. They have Latvia as a transit country to
Yeah,
something else,
yeah.
or they have cheaper education over here.
Yes.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
So recently I got to know that there is a law imposed on in Latvia where you have to go to serve in the military.
Yep.
So what do you think about it?
Damn, man. I want to run away.
Yeah.
But
This is how I catch people.
oh, how you catch people being
Yeah,
dishonest?
No, I catch people all of a sudden because I didn't discuss this question with you.
Oh, okay.
But that's
Oh.
good. That would be an honest opinion from you.
Okay. So I would say that not a large but a slight majority supports the compulsory military service because they believe it's a good thing for like younger generations to learn how to defend themselves and but much more importantly than that, like there's a saying that military teaches you life. Serving the military teaches you life.
Actually,
Yes.
even I believe in the same.
Oh, okay. And that's why some of the perhaps older generations would support it, but from young people do not support it as much because they have to go to fight. You know, they
Yeah,
have to go
well,
to military and perhaps fight someday. Who knows? My mom really wants me to stay away from it because she thinks I'm going to go to Ukraine, I'm going to die for a foreign country, and something like
yeah, but
that.
that is like a momly thing. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
understandable. But at the same time, there have to be people who should defend the country. Otherwise, anybody can conquer your country because you
Yeah.
are very small in number.
Yeah, that's true. But Latvians generally think that. No, let me phrase it a bit differently. So Latvians have a pretty much only one country that could potentially threaten them, which is Russia. And Russia has like 140 million people. Latvia has 1.5 million, 1.8 million people.
Yeah.
So many of people that are against the compulsory service think like, what's even the point of making people that could defend your country? Like, okay, you're gonna come.
After that also you won't be able to defend the country because of being a small number.
Well, yes, yes. What are we gonna do? Like against Russia or something? Like, so many people out there anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, like, you have to be stand strong. At least you are, even if you have a small army, but still you have an army. And a strong army is important. It's like if I go back to old stories, we have Spartans and all those stuff. Where you look at the stories and you have like they are 300 in number, they are 500 in number, but they still fought bravely. It's like a more like a
Sure.
fighting with
Sure.
a brave and courageous.
That's true. That's true.
Okay. Okay, so one more thing, one question which very much which comes to my mind very often is that most people here are moving towards atheism. Like they
Towards
don't
what?
believe in God. Atheism.
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 Atheism. Yeah.
So they don't believe in God. So, like, what do you think about that? And why is this happening? Very recently, I have
Okay.
realized this.
Yeah. Well, I have quite a bit things to say about it. Firstly, I have personally looked on the statistics of religion in Latvia.
Because I asked this question intentionally to him because he told me that his family is not religious, but he is a pretty religious
Yes.
guy.
Yes.
So that's really I liked about you.
Yeah.
I really was really amazed to hear that from you because being a young guy who like any other guy of your age would be like to party and got some tattoos and there are a lot of people like that. But you are like more into religious and more into towards God or something. How does this happen and what do you
How did it happen?
Yeah.
Well, let's say I was always a very curious young boy,
Okay.
and I'm still really curious. And I would say that always when I see something that is popular among like teens or against or in general society, I've always thought about it as wrong. I don't see like people that when a majority opinion is prevalent in society, I always tend to like see it with skepticism. Like everybody in my age, well, the vast majority of people in my age, they do not believe in God and they do not care about like afterlife. Or they do not really care about following principles. They would rather have only fun, and that's their most important goal. And I always like got it from either a long-term perspective or pretty much that there is wisdom to be found in the past.
That's true.
Yeah, yeah,
And religion teaches you wisdom for sure.
yep.
So you are the one from your family who moved towards the church and is like more into the religious practices rather than the family.
Yes,
Rather
yes,
than the
yes,
family.
yes, yes.
And how they look at it,
Well,
they are okay with it.
well, as
You
I
do what
mentioned,
you do.
my family is not religious, but my dad, let's say he was raised as a Lutheran, and he was raised in a Christian environment. In the United States, by the way, he's Latvian. He was born in the United States because of the World War II. So
Oh,
that's about his life story. So when I said it to my dad, he was quite happy.
Oh,
He didn't have anything to say against it, and he just told me to not go into like radical directions. Yeah,
understand it.
yeah, yeah. And my mother.
Towards extremism in
Yes.
any sort.
Yes,
I
yes,
understand, yeah.
yes, yes. And about my mother, firstly, she didn't believe me. She thought it was some kind of a phase.
So that will go away and then you will be
Yeah. Yeah.
it's chill.
Yeah, but now that it's part of my life for about 3 or 4 years. Well, now she believes me, and I have
And she's happy about it as well.
yeah, she has no problem
I'm
with
sure
it.
she might be happy because the people of your age might like trying some other nonsense things and you are away
Yes,
from that,
yes,
especially alcohol and those
yes,
stuff.
exactly. She knows that I don't go to like clubs and do not like take drugs or something like that, which I don't do, by the way.
Okay.
I don't do that.
I trust you.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, she's definitely happy about it. That's about it. I have convinced her to go to church with me a few times.
Sorry?
I convinced her to go to church with me
Okay,
a
and
few times.
they came with you.
Yes,
They find it.
yes, my mother came with me, but she hated the fact that in our church, where I occasionally go to, it has like a tradition where people like shake each other's hands, like when they're in close proximity in the middle of service, like you greet people, something like that. And my mother is very like introverted in that sense, and she
So
finds
she didn't like touching anybody.
yes, yeah, she's like this, and she doesn't want to go to anybody. And she comes to me, and
Yeah, in the church they greet everybody like this.
yes, 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 yes.
I studied in a Catholic school. So
Oh, but you're a Muslim.
yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah, I have.
And India is a Hindu country for the
Yeah.
majority.
That's why I am a multi-diversified religious man.
He's a crazy man, as I said. Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting. Okay.
So, one thing that I've noticed about Latvia that has changed, I see, for example, streets are more clean. Maybe that's just
Streets are more clean.
yes, streets are more clean, and I often see things like more tidy. Let's say, for example, where there were a few years ago a lot of like potholes, they're getting fixed right now. Yeah, just some few minor things like
Things
that.
are getting better day by day.
Yes, and very recently I see a lot more like benches that you can sit on in where you can wait for the public transport. Yeah, 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 and also I would say that some foreign businesses come in Latvia. For example, the company IKEA and Lidl. Uh, they have recently come into Latvia, and I remember like when there was the first day opening in IKEA or Lidl, the people were in such lines. It was like a national day celebration or something like that. They celebrate. People in Latvia celebrate more the opening of like Lidl or IKEA.
Then the Latvia Independence Day.
Yes, yes, yes. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Interesting. Okay, one thing which is little controversial all the time and all the way, and but which is a problem which I feel really for Latvia is like the declining population of Latvia,
Yeah,
and that is also one of the reasons like most of the people are getting towards this LGBTQ thing, you know. So the same-sex marriages and same-sex relationships are increasing because of which there are like very less chances of getting a baby, you know,
yeah.
increasing population. How do you look at it?
Firstly, I would like to say that in regards to again Latvia becoming more like American and European culture, I believe that like the influence from America in the terms of acceptance of the LGBT issues, it has touched Latvia, particularly, especially among the girls around my age, because almost none of the boys support it. But
Oh, none of the boys support it.
almost none of the boys support
Okay,
it,
okay.
but almost all of the girls do.
But what about gays?
What, what about gays?
Gays, like the boys
Yeah.
who are gays might support it.
Yes, yes.
Okay, but
But generally, other boys do not
boys who are
respect them.
straight doesn't support it.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
I got it.
In 90% of cases, yeah.
Okay, and
Yeah.
how do they think about it? They don't like
They
it?
either just do not care and think that they are disgusting or quite weird people with weird fetishes and tendencies. Yeah. But yeah.
But because of this, the population is declining, and that is a major challenge for Latvia to stand upon. Because if the population will keep on declining, then there will be less people. Less people, companies will not come because there is less consumer.
That's true. One thing that is very prevalent notion in the society right now is that there's an overpopulation in the world, and yeah, maybe that's true. But when you look at Latvia has an underpopulation problem. Population is falling. So what do we do about it? And those LGBT issues that that promote, let's say, infertility, and people that, in one sense, could have had children, now decide to live this lifestyle and that they will not have children.
Exactly.
That only damages the future generations, I think.
So So even you are not. So how do you also choose to ignore them because you don't like them or what?
Both, but both,
Okay, okay.
both.
So you don't like them, that's why you choose to ignore them and not talk about them,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's an accurate description of my opinion. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm absolutely not a fan of these things, and not because of my religion. That has pretty much nothing to do with it. Not nothing to do with it. But of course, Christianity is against it. But no, I do not support it in any way. I think that's something that's corrupting people's minds. I think people have often traumas in their childhood and psychological problems that they cannot resolve, so they choose to adopt a different identity and explore new things. I think it's very harmful. Yeah.
So, and what do you think as when are you planning to get married? I know you were
Married.
just finished school, but yeah, after college maybe.
God knows. God knows.
And would you like
No
to
idea.
and would you like to marry a Latvian or you will go
Oh,
you will cross the borders?
I guess I will cross the borders.
You will cross the borders.
Yeah, yeah. If all the girls in Latvia become bisexual and lesbians,
Then
then
you'll
I'm
have
gonna
to.
have nothing to marry. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's a very sad news for the people coming in.
Yeah.
So I can say to all the foreigners who are coming in, don't come if you think that the girls are here because they are already busy.
Yes, yes. The young girls, especially.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
my age. Yeah,
So that's sad for all the foreigners coming in, especially boys.
especially boys. Oh, like you.
Oh man, it's
That's
okay.
why you came here, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Now you know the
Beautiful
real.
Latvian women.
What do you say? Tashita. Tashita.
Yes, 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 yes,
Tashita is for sure.
yes, yes.
Okay. So that's it. I think that's it. That's it.
I
For
think
now.
that's good. That was a
We had a long conversation.
lengthy conversation.
Alright.
Yeah,
I think that's it for this vlog. We can do another vlog for sure. If I want to, I will have more questions and I will
Yeah.
definitely ask you once again. And thank you so much for coming. And I hope people, especially who are non-Latvians and who are planning to come to Latvia,
especially the boys.
especially the boys,
Yeah.
so they will have a fair idea of how things are right now and how the how the Latvia has evolved over a period of time and what new generation like Mikey think about you
Yeah.
or towards the national things which are happening. Thank you so much for watching and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you for coming. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.